Astha and Radhika, you both are here, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Great.
Ux, please share the live link.
I'm putting it in the unofficial group. All right.
Astha and Radhika, you
Guys, I'm adding all the participants now.
I request everyone to please switch on your cameras. We have the speaker with us.
Ma'am.
Hi, good morning.
Radhika, are you ready? And ma'am, can we start?
Yes, yes.
Oh, a very warm good morning. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. I, Radhika Agarwal, on behalf of the entire team Comrosia, welcome you all. As rightly said, don't blame distractions, improve your focus. Going on with the same line, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Manu Bhaker. Born in 2002 in Haryana, Ma'am is one of the youngest star and Arjuna awardee in shooting. Till the age of 14, she excelled at different sports, having won national level medals in boxing, skating, and tennis. However, her true calling was shooting. Ma'am's Wall of Fame include silver in 2017 Junior Asian Championship. She won 9 gold medals in 2017 National Games, announcing her arrival on the Indian shooting scene. At just 19 years of age, she entered Tokyo 2020, having won several medals across multiple events in both single and mixed shooting. Her trims include gold and silver at the Youth Olympic Games in 2017, 3 gold medals and silver at 2018 Junior World Cup. Playing a part at 2018 ISSF World Cup has made Ma'am the youngest Indian to win gold in the World Cup. Ma'am has also won the gold medal at 2018 Commonwealth Games just at the age of 16 in her maiden Commonwealth Games appearance. She has won multiple national championship gold, around 80 medals in international and national, 95% of them being gold. Ma'am has maintained her training regime by practicing yoga and meditation to keep her calm and ready. In 2021, Ma'am won silver in a singles event and gold in a mixed event at the ISSF World Cup Delhi. We welcome you, Ma'am. With this, I would like to invite Dr. O.P. Gasai, sir, for giving the welcome note. Sir, you're on mute.
Motilal Nehru College, Department of Commerce, Subject Society, Cambrosia, welcomes Manu Bhaker ma'am. आपकी बायोग्राफी अभी बच्चों ने बताई और आप तो वेल नोन हैं, किसी परिचय के मोहताज भी नहीं हैं। कॉम्ब्रोशिया टीम, मोतीलाल नेहरू कॉलेज, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स आपका हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता है, आपका हार्दिक स्वागत करता है। आपका स्वागत है मैम यहाँ पर। और अब मैं हमारे डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन के मेरे साथी हैं एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर नामा प्रेम सिंह। तो मुझे लगा कि आप स्पोर्ट्स से हैं, तो मैंने स्पेशल एक प्रिविलेज लेके नामा सिंह सर को मैंने इनवाइट किया कि आप एक फॉर्मल एक्सटेंडेड वेलकम नोट दें तो ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा। तो मैं इनवाइट करूंगा नामा सिंह सर को कि वो प्लीज एड्रेस करें, वेलकम करें।
Thank you, Mr. Gosai. Well, I would not like to formally welcome Manu, but I would like to give a brief introduction as how did we start shooting in our college. Manu, you may not be knowing, but when we have been following you for quite long, and when the TOPS, the Target Olympic Podium Scheme started first, when Anurag Thakurji was the chairman, now he is the minister, that time he was the chairman. So most of the students, those who joined TOPS, were from Motilal Nehru College. And when Mr. Gurbir, you may be knowing Manav's father, Manu?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yes, sir.
Gurbir sir and Manav. So I invited him to the college and he said, why don't you have a sports quota in Motilal Nehru College with good athletes like Manu, Bhaker and then I said, why would she join Motilal? Because we don't have a shooting range. So he said, you start, gradually you can build up. And that is how, with your name, we started shooting sport for the very first time in our college in 2018. Dear friends, all those who are in commerce, this Cambrosia, one of our BCom student who passed out from Motilal Nehru College, his name is Shivam Yadav. He went abroad on scholarship for sports management. He was looking after her file for some days in TOPS, along with Mohit Sharma. Manu Bhaker might be knowing Mohit, Vikrant Chaudhary, Shivam. These all are students of, Shivam is a student of Motilal Nehru College, BCom department. So it gives me a privilege that we created sports quota, say starting in shooting sports for Manu. We didn't have a privilege to be your teacher, but we have a privilege to be here with you talking on webinar. And the most proud moment for me was, apart from your achievements, when you were the flag bearer of our country in the 3rd Youth Olympic Games at Buenos Aires, Argentina. And I also saw your shooting when you defeated in ISSF championship, that Mexico's girl. You scored 273.5 and she was, I think, 273.1. Manu, am I right?
Yes, yes, sir. Something comes.
Yeah. So it is a huge privilege for us that Manu, you are here. And when she was very young, Manu, this is for the students of commerce, she used to do boxing. And one of the girl who was practicing her in Charki Dadri, Rinku, is now our student. She's a second-year student and she won bronze medal in boxing. So Manu may not remember because she was very young, but that time in Charki Dadri, they used to practice. And our team in Motilal Nehru College, especially sports department, we do a huge scouting of talent. And now we have very good shooters with us. Of course, not as elite as yours, but national level like Ananya Anand, Shaurya, or they are all for commerce department. So commerce department is, has a huge potential, and I'm so happy that they have called you to share your experiences with us. Thank you and welcome, Manu.
Thank you, sir. Firstly, I had no clue about Motilal College had shooting. So if I knew, maybe things would be different right now. And thank you so much for the brief introduction. And the flag bearing thing was also my personal best experience so far. So thank you.
Welcome.
shooting, I would like to begin with a question that at what point of time did you realize that shooting is that thing जिसमें आप career बनाना चाहती हैं? मतलब what was that age or point when आपको लगा कि shooting ही है कि इसी में ही मैं कर सकती हूँ, मतलब यही मेरे लिए best रहेगा?
Okay, so since childhood, your parents and your family members usually ask you what you want to become once you grow up. And I think I never had an answer for that. I was always like, I'll see, maybe a doctor, maybe a IAS officer, maybe a scientist or something. But I was never so sure. And I think as long as I remember, her rows, या फिर her, say, in 1 month, I used to change my answers to something else only. So that gave me the liberty to, try different sort of things. Whichever I liked, I tried it. But हमारे family में there were no sports person as such. We had engineers, we had doctors, we had every single profession, but not a sports person. So I was inclined to sports also since my childhood. And I think dheere dheere I tried every single thing that came onto my way. First, I got introduced with the athletics. We all know, we all used to run around the fields. Then boxing and the contact sports were always my favorites. But shooting happened because I wanted to skip a few tests, and because of which I skipped my classes and went to the shooting range. This is how shooting happened. And then I had always won in other events, say karate, martial arts. I'm a national champion in all of them. So shooting was a different sort of sport. I was so puzzled, कि I like contact sports so much, but this is not my thing. बहुत ज़्यादा peaceful है, बहुत ज़्यादा, I don't know मुझसे हो पाएगा या नहीं. But then I went for my first open tournament and I couldn't win there. So I was a little, guilt of not winning. So मैंने decide किया कि, I'll make a plan. I'll set things accordingly. Then I'll practice accordingly. And if I don't win even a single tournament in next, say, 2, 3, 4 months, I would probably leave it or do something else. Maybe that's not my cup of tea or something. So I was actually in guilt when I didn't win my first open tournament. And since then, I think as long as I remember, I won every single open tournament, every single one I participated. Then I won everything until 2018. And then I had like Asian Games, I lost and all of that. But yeah, this is my initial journey of shooting.
I wanted to ask, like, what do you do to keep yourself calm under high pressure moments?
Okay, so firstly, the definition of pressure as how I define it is pressure. You get pressure only when you think something is very important to you, and you don't want to screw it up. You want to perform better. You want to do good, and you want everybody to feel proud of you. This is why you feel pressure about some things, and we can never escape pressure thing. It will always be there, no matter if I am standing in a state match or in an Olympic match. The levels of pressure might be different levels, but pressure will always be there. It'll be no escaping. If you don't have any sort of pressure, then that probably means that that thing doesn't mean anything to you. So I always talk to myself while I'm under pressure. I always talk to myself. I always make sure that things are positive inside my brain. I don't think कि ये नहीं करना है या फिर इस पे focus नहीं करना है. I always make sure to focus on positive things. That I have to do this, and I have to follow this technique. I have to do this. I have to focus on my what is required right now, and not कि मुझे ये नहीं करना है. You never focus on negative things. When you always focus on positive things, I think pressure कुछ time में धीरे धीरे वो चला जाता है, and you start enjoying your sport या फिर your whatever you are studying. So you slowly start to enjoy the process. So yeah, and keep breathing. Breathing से heart rate काफी manage होता है. So if you keep breathing properly with time, so I think gradually it decreases.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask you that you are practicing shooting and then you're also studying. So does it get hectic sometimes?
Yes, it does. It just it's so annoying. So many times I have to ask somebody's help. Ki, please help me through this, and I never know where I am standing right now in the class. Like what subject we subjects के नाम भी I think मुझे 2-3 महीने में जाके याद होते हैं. Teachers के नाम मुझे जब semester खत्म होता है तब मुझे जाके teachers के नाम याद होते हैं. And because I'm training regularly, I barely get time, and network issues also we have here. So I don't get to attend the classes also. Yeah. So I have a private tutor though, but it's very tough. But if you want to do it, you can do it.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask, what do you believe is the greatest challenge for the most shooters or sports person are facing today?
Okay. Challenges as in like what sort of challenges? Like, do you mean policies, something political or some policies may? Ya fir, I didn't get the question what you wanted to ask exactly.
In political ways only, ma'am.
Okay, so shooting में I think बहुत कम loopholes है because we have everything electronic here. Everything is quite transparent here. But I think other sports में there must be these loopholes like boxing or contact sports में that used to happen to me also when I used to box and I used to do martial arts and all. That just team, suppose I'm playing in Delhi and against a Delhi athlete. So if the judges are mostly from Delhi, they would, take the other athlete's side. So this used to happen to me a lot, but right now I don't really know about all of that. I think बस यही होता है दूसरे का ज़्यादा ये हमारा एथलीट है इसको थोड़ा ऊपर लेके जाओ. So mostly यही होता है. Otherwise, shooting is quite a transparent sport.
Hi, ma'am. I wanted to ask that how do you deal with failures, and as in how to make failures your stepping stone towards the ladder of success?
Okay, so I'll share one thing with you. When I had just started in the sports world, not just shooting world, but sport world. I always used to think that I will always keep winning only. I will never lose. So until this professional shooting thing happened to me, I think I had never lost a single game. So I was so confident about everything that I will win only. I will never lose. So failures are very important to make you realize or make the person realize that how important या फिर what is the value of winning. You won't realize with time कि आप जीतते जा रहे हो. So you won't value it. If you don't value it, you won't know the worth of it. So failures are important for you because they make you realize कि आप जिंदगी में कितनी चीजें कर रहे हो वो आपके लिए कितनी important है और कितनी important नहीं है. I failed in, I won't say failed, but I didn't win, of course, in Asian Games. So that was definitely heartbreaking. But I got over it because I definitely love shooting and I couldn't leave it. And if you only see the negative side, just see it this way. If I didn't win in the Asian Games, so and I decide to leave, तो मैं पॉजिटिव साइड देख ही नहीं रही हूँ. I'm not able to see कि मैं कितने सारे competitions जीत चुकी हूँ या फिर मैं कितना मेरे में caliber है to improve and to come back. I would never know if I am willing to give up, then I've already given up. So it completely depends on you whether you take the failure as a negative thing or as a positive thing. Initially definitely ऐसे लगता है हमेशा कि मुझसे नहीं होगा, बस बहुत हो गया, सर दर्द हो रहा है, I'll leave it only and I don't want to do it. It's such a headache. या फिर बस बहुत हो गया, I worked so hard and yet I didn't win or even didn't make it to the bronze medal. So you will initially feel it, but eventually, gradually, you'll realize कि ठीक है, चलता है थोड़ा बहुत. Maybe I was lacking something, and maybe there's scope for more improvement that I can do. But I think if you love something so much, you won't be able to leave it. You won't be able to leave anything you love. You won't be able to give up.
I had a question. Like I just wanted to ask that before when you were playing your game, what was the last piece of advice that your coach gave you before you competed?
Okay, so coach thing taught me a lesson rather than giving me advice, that you don't depend so much on somebody, maybe your coach, maybe your parent, maybe anybody, because this whole coach fuss was going on in my life just before the Olympic Games. So I got this lesson out of it, that you don't have to rely, you don't need to rely, and if you will start looking up to your coach all the time, you'll be completely reliant on the other person, and which would leave you hurt and sometimes confused also about what to do next. Because if you're relying so much on your coach, then you don't know कि तुम्हें personally what you need to do to improve your game. सिर्फ कोच ही करवाया जा रहा है सब कुछ, तो it's not your growth in this. सिर्फ कोच रहता है, तो आप सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट नहीं होती है, आप खुद ग्रो नहीं कर पाते हो. So yeah, I learned this somehow, but no advice as such.
Very good morning, ma'am. My question is that how to become consistent in life. Like for athlete, practice is very important. So consistently practice is very important in everybody. तो मेरे साथ जो प्रॉब्लम होती है, जैसे मैंने किया कि 4-5 घंटे पढ़ना है, तो मैं 4-5 दिन पढ़ूंगा, उसके बाद वो कंसिस्टेंसी रुक जाएगी. तो how to become that consistent in life कि वो everyday हो.
Okay. So अगर आपको कंसिस्टेंट होना है, तो यू विल हैव टू प्लान फॉर थिंग्स. जैसे से 1 महीने बाद आपका टूर्नामेंट है, यू विल हैव टू प्लान राइट नाउ कि मुझे इतनी देर रोज प्रैक्टिस करनी है, और उसमें सिर्फ रोज प्रैक्टिस नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट्स बोरिंग, दैट्स वेरी बोरिंग. आपको कुछ एक्टिविटीज करनी चाहिए, जैसे से कोई ड्रिल्स हो गई, किसी और के साथ कंपटीशन करना है, या फिर किसी और के साथ क्विज कर सकते हो. And you should have one recovery day also for yourself and your body, so that you recover well, and then next day you can start again. Say एक week में you can train for 5 or 6 days, however it suits your body, and take 1 or 2 days at most off. So it's all about planning, and consistency doesn't come just like that. You will have to give so much efforts to it. You will have to make sure that you do everything right. Like अगर कोई भी एथलीट, प्रोफेशनल एथलीट अगर कंसिस्टेंसी की तरफ जाना चाह रहा है, सो सबसे पहले उसको अपने बेसिक्स बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग करने होंगे. एंड इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट स्टडीज एंड ऑल, आई थिंक आप हर बार एक ही जैसे पढ़ के, मैंने एक्चुअली जिंदगी में 5-6 घंटे लगातार नहीं पढ़ा है, but I take breaks, I watch something, and then I go back to my studies again. मुझे उसमें से कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है तो आई गूगल अबाउट इट, आई रीड अबाउट दैट स्टफ कि मुझे किसी चीज़ के बारे में नहीं पता होता, तो आई जस्ट ट्राई टू मेक इट इंटरेस्टिंग, मोर इंटरेस्टिंग, एंड आई आस्क अदर पीपल क्वेश्चंस अबाउट इट. So this is how I prefer to study, to make थोड़े time में breaks and then study again, and then breaks and then study again. And in sports life, I think consistency आपको अपना basics इतना strong करना पड़ेगा that आपका बहुत आप जितना कम perform कर सकते हो और आप जितना ज़्यादा perform कर सकते हो उनका difference कम हो जाए. मतलब ये हो कि मैं अपने सबसे see, अगर मेरा दिन खराब चल रहा है, like it's not a good shooting day as we say it's not a good day for me, or maybe I'm not able to perform today, I'm not in my best form today. So आपका वो इतना नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैं इतना perform करता हूँ तो मैं इतना गिर जाऊँ. So you will have to maintain that thing कि आपके worst days पे भी you are able to perform at least this much, and if आपके good days में you are able to perform this much. So this difference has to be maintained. ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि worst days पे इतना जा रहा है और good days पे इतना जा रहा है. So you won't be able to be consistent about that.
And ma'am, yoga and meditation does changes your life. Like I am a meditator, it changed my life. So how a sportsman has changed their life through meditation?
So for a sports person, दो चीजों का बहुत plus point होता है if you do yoga and meditation. First thing is it stretches out your body, and आपको जितने भी आपके sport की वजह से जहाँ problems हैं वो बहुत कम हो जाते हैं because you stretch your body. So Surya Namaskar, basically we do it almost regularly क्योंकि we do workout also, और contact sports या फिर कोई भी आप sports खेलते हो, कौन सा sport खेलते हो आप?
I'm an athlete. I do track running and I also play cricket.
Okay, so if you are in running and also you can stretch your leg muscles and everything, every body part. So that would be much easier for you. आपकी recovery बहुत जल्दी हो जाएगी. This is one plus point of yoga. And second thing is meditation or yoga का plus point is like you spend some time with yourself. हम आज के time पे we spend a lot of time on the technological things like mobiles and laptops and all of that. So you spend some time with yourself in the morning. बजाय कि आप फोन सुबह उठते ही फोन पे लग गए. So that's a little not so good for your health if you do that in the morning. So if you do yoga and meditation in the morning, so you give time to yourself, you focus on yourself, and you can plan your day accordingly. So ये मुझे दोनों चीजें काफी अच्छी लगती है.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Ma'am, my question is, what are the minimum physical requirement to take up shooting?
Okay, so this is a myth that people say कि shooting में आपको कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई workout, कोई physical fitness या कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. But all the elite athletes, elite shooters, everybody works out. Everyone, every single one of them. And the basic things that हमको shooting में भी injuries काफी होती हैं, but people don't really think कि shooting में injury भी हो सकती है. So normally we get knee injuries, lower back injuries, pistol shooting में, and ये arm, elbow and all of that. इसमें injuries. So you have to make sure कि you balance your body. If you're doing shooting, say with your right hand, so your left hand will be lighter and your right hand will be a little heavier. So you'll have to train your left hand and right hand both. Uski conditioning and everything is very, very important. And back strengthening, knee strengthening, ये सब I think core बहुत tight, बहुत strong होनी चाहिए shooting के लिए. So all of that, at least basic conditioning is very, very required, if not weight training and bodybuilding. But a basic है बहुत required, at least body weight training. Say TheraBand से कुछ चीजें, या फिर थोड़ा बहुत 2-3 kg के dumbbell से कुछ भी. So light conditioning is very, very important. Otherwise, you won't be able to do good in your sport for a long time. Short time में कुछ भी हो जाएगा, but long time, if you want to do good in something, then you will have to be consistent, and for that you will have to prioritize your physical fitness also.
Ma'am, does mindset have an impact on your like sports life or in anybody's life? Like having a good mindset with you, like something sort of that.
Good mindset as in positively or negatively or something else you're talking about?
I want to ask, like, what's your thought process, or like, what are you feeling at the time of an event or a competition?
Okay, so firstly, we definitely get nervous a lot of nervousness is there, and consequences बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग में आ जाते हैं, but we try to eliminate those thoughts, but eventually हम conclude करने लग जाते हैं चीज़ों को, which is not really healthy for you. So we think कि अगर मैं जीत गया तो क्या होगा, अगर मैं नहीं जीता तो क्या होगा, अगर मेरा ये टूर्नामेंट अच्छा नहीं गया तो फिर पता नहीं कैसा लगेगा, क्या होगा, फेडरेशन को क्या लगेगा, और लोग क्या सोचेंगे कि मैं परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाई या परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाया, एंड ये चीज़ें चलती हैं. उसके अलावा इज मोस्टली आई पर्सनली ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन व्हाट आई नीड टू डू, व्हाट आई अगर मैं लेन पे जा रही हूँ, देन व्हाट आई नीड टू डू, व्हाट आई हैव टू डू to make it to my caliber, to shoot to my caliber, to perform to my caliber. There will be times जब आप बहुत अच्छे mindset में होंगे, positive होंगे, but अच्छा नहीं हो पाएगा. But those are the times to test you. If you are willing to give up, then कितना ही अच्छा mindset हो, कितना भी खराब mindset हो, you won't be able to do it in the next tournament. So in shooting, what we do is every single shot counts, and हम हर एक शॉट पे ध्यान देते हैं so that next शॉट के लिए स्ट्रगल नहीं करना पड़े. So if you are a shooter, or if any one of you is a shooter, so this will be very strong point for you if you focus on the moment you're doing something. Just, I'm so sorry for the disturbance. Okay. So the thoughts before the matches is usually the conclusion that just comes here and there, just like that, randomly. And the nervousness is always there. It will always be there. I'm always trying to focus on what I have to do.
Shall I ask something, Manu?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. Manu, I just wanted to know two things. Now, you are among the elite athletes. Which is one fitness parameter that you think, I mean, shooting requires a lot of fitness, endurance, etc. But one single parameter which you think as an athlete, like take, for example, strength or reaction time. And for non-athlete like students, commerce students and all, what is that one fitness, although we need to focus on all the aspects, but for normal students, which is a fitness parameter which you would recommend, and for an elite athlete, which is a parameter which you would recommend?
So I actually didn't really get your point. I'm so sorry. Like parameter as in you're talking about what exercises the person should do, or like what sort of fitness they should have. I am confused.
Okay. Let me tell you this way. When you practice in your training time, you would be touching like your endurance workout, your strength workout, your flexibility, your coordinative abilities, your individual strategy. Okay. And so there are so many things that are the parameters of fitness. So like me, I focus on the best part for sedentary, for the students, is strength. I think that there should be basic strength. So this is my question to you. As an elite athlete, do you have a favorite parameter that this I should not lose at any point of time? And what you would recommend
Mental
to
peace.
your students?
So in shooting, we always say कि if you are working out on a regular basis, you can skip your sessions if you do not feel mentally peaceful. So our coaches and every coach and everybody always tell us कि अगर mental peace नहीं है, then you skip whatever you would want. And if we are not talking about mental peace here, so I think balancing and stability is very important in shooting sport. Otherwise, definitely it's strength. In other sports, it's strength and speed. In shooting, it's not speed. We don't require speed in shooting. We just need balanced body with stability. So that is what we need in shooting.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, just wanted to ask which other sports do you play apart from, shooting? Apart from that, what other sports do you like and what other sports do you follow?
Okay, so currently I am skating and both this thing, rink skating, normally on this thing, and ice skating. So I do both sort of skating and I do karate also. I like many sports actually, but I'm not really able to do right now. I'm not allowed to play badminton. It disturbs our this hand key stability and everything. So we are not allowed to play lawn tennis and badminton right now. But I like TT and I like lawn tennis and badminton, of course, but I'm not allowed to play. And I like boxing, which also I'm not allowed to play. And yeah, karate I'm allowed to play. I play once in a while, like once in 2-3 months I go to the classes. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a general question. Ma'am, apart from sports, what are your hobbies?
I like to paint clothes mostly. I like to paint and music, of course. Everybody loves music. Almost everybody loves music. Then my voice is not good, but otherwise I like to sing, but it's not good. Hobbies apart from sports. No, I don't like to study a lot. Sometimes it's fine studying about something interesting, it's fine, but otherwise I don't really like to study. And yeah, that's the most of it. I like to drive also, if that counts.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, like, what do you do after every win? Like, how do you celebrate or treat yourself?
So until now, we never really had breaks. We always had we never had off season in shooting. We always used to have back to back tournaments. So Ghar Pe Jana was a treat for me. Because in 2018 and 19, I barely could see my parents, my brother. I barely went home. So I think merely a treat why tha ki I went home, I visited my parents. So that was it. But now I think I'll explore more because this time we have off seasons. Maybe we'll go for a long drive or something, or some good place, some snowy areas or something.
I have another question. मैम जो मैं नोटिस करता हूँ कि ऐसे कॉमनवेल्थ हो गया, ओलंपिक्स हो गया, जब भी हम मेडल्स की लिस्ट देखते हैं इंडिया की, तो गोल्ड, सिल्वर, ब्रॉन्ज में ज्यादातर हरियाणा का नाम जरूर होता है कि हरियाणा का ही ओलंपियन है, मेडल आया है. एंड एक चीज मुझे और मैं श्योर हूँ कि पेरिस में भी शूटिंग में तो हरियाणा से मेडल आप ला रही है, 100% आ रहा है शूटिंग में पेरिस में. तो एंड बेस्ट ऑफ मैम उसके लिए भी. तो मैम इसका स्पेसिफिक बताऊँ कि अकॉर्डिंग टू रीजन है कि हरियाणा से इतने मेडल्स आते हैं, मैम बहुत सालों से आ रहे हैं, अभी से एकदम से नहीं है, मतलब इसका कोई स्पेसिफिक रीजन आपके को?
बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक रीजन तो नहीं है, बट वन ऑफ द रीजन इज कि हरियाणा में बहुत ही ज्यादा बेसिक और स्ट्रॉन्ग खाना खाया जाता है. अदरवाइज नाउ आई यूज जब मैं दिल्ली आई हूँ तभी मैंने सुना है कोई लैक्टोज इंटॉलरेंट है, किसी को किसी चीज से एलर्जी है. मैंने हरियाणा में कभी नहीं सुना था कि किसी को दूध से एलर्जी है या किसी को टॉलरेट नहीं होता है, या फिर अदरवाइज वी आर ऑलवेज लाइक हमको एटलीस्ट 1-2 लीटर दूध रोज चाहिए होता है, मक्खन चाहिए होता है, और बहुत ही हम काफी हेल्दी खाना होता है हरियाणा का. So this is the basic thing though. I actually got introduced to this lactose intolerant thing quite say 2 or 3 years back. Otherwise I didn't know only कि ऐसे भी हो सकता है. But yeah, basic यही है कि strong खाना होता है, and the parents raise their children very strongly. ऐसे नहीं है कि इससे चोट लग गया अब दोबारा ये मत करना. So it's like go do whatever you want. You want to play, you play. You want to study, you study.
मैम आई वांटेड टू आस्क लाइक किसी भी बड़े मैच से पहले बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स ना प्री पॉजिटिव अफर्मेशंस करते हैं, तो डू यू फॉलो दैट प्रैक्टिस कि अपने आप में कुछ कहना कि मुझे ऐसा करना है उस मैच से पहले?
So not just before the match, but even during the match, I always make sure that I'm talking to myself. Make sure क्या वो खुद ही हो जाता automatically. अगर मैंने कोई shot खराब चलाया तो I would be angry on myself and I go like कि क्या किया, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. तमीज से चला shot, हर एक की value कितनी important है. You have to shoot with your technique, with your best shot, you know. So I think I talk to myself all the time. And this is just, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but talking to yourself is very, very important because अगर आप खुद से बात नहीं कर रहे होते हो तो you're not really being honest with yourself and you don't really know कि it's like a self discussion thing. So if you do it, it will be good for you because आपके दिमाग में बहुत. So that is very, very important.
Ma'am, I had a question that were your parents supportive from the very first, or if not, what changed their mind?
So my parents were very supportive since the beginning only, because I was very young, obviously. उस time पे इतना नहीं था कि आपको career में ये करना है. But there was a point in my life when I was like मुझे doctor भी बनना है और मुझे shooting में भी I'm confused right now whether I want to continue with it or not. But my coach, at that time, I had a coach. He convinced my mother that give her one more year, and then we will see if you still wanted her to become a doctor. Then you can send her to Kota. And my parents otherwise were always supportive of me, but my family, other family members, extended family, they were always either jealous or I don't know what, but they were not happy with me. They were always like कि लड़की को इतनी लिबर्टी दे रहे हो, ये बाहर जा रही है, रात को वापस आ रही है, खेलने जा रही है, इतनी बड़ी लड़की खेलती थोड़ी है. मतलब एक point पे ऐसा था when I used to play karate and all. So they were a little bit like इसको थोड़ा सा वो करके रखो, बचा के रखो. I don't know.
मैम काफी बार हम काफी आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं बट फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं करती, तो उस टाइम में क्या किया जा सकता है?
अगर आपके पेरेंट्स सपोर्ट करते हैं तो नथिंग बेटर देन दैट. अगर आपके पेरेंट्स सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं तो आई थिंक आपके पेरेंट्स की वो क्लासेस लगनी चाहिए. बट अगर आप उनको कुछ प्रूव करके दिखाते हो कि यस आई कैन डू इट बिकॉज आई एम केपेबल ऑफ डूइंग इट, then I think why won't they support you? They would definitely support you. और अगर फिर भी नहीं करते and you are feeling very strong that you can really do it, then you will have to take a hard step. And I don't really want to say it, but if you think that you can definitely pursue your dream and all you need is yourself, then you really will have to take some major step. अगर extended family support नहीं करती है तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, just ignore them. But family, parents support नहीं करते हैं तो that's a tough one though. You will have to convince them or maybe choose otherwise.
मैम माय क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि सबकी लाइफ में एक फेज आता है जिसमें वो उनकी पर्सनालिटी को डेवलप करता है, तो आपकी लाइफ में वो फेज कौन सा था?
पर्सनालिटी तो आई थिंक पूरी लाइफ लॉन्ग आपकी डेवलप होती ही रहती है. But when we are like 15 or 16, we see people around us. We try to follow what we like. We try to sort of do what we see others doing. या फिर सही चीज बोली उसने. So everything that's going around us develops us and develops our personalities. So I think पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट आपकी पूरा टाइम जाती ही रहती है. कुछ टाइम बाद यू रियलाइज कि दिस वाज सो स्टूपिड एंड आई यूज्ड टू डू इट. सो वो भी एक सॉर्ट ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ही है. एंड यू अडैप्ट न्यू थिंग्स, यू लर्न न्यू थिंग्स एंड यू एलिमिनेट ओल्ड हैबिट्स, some bad habits or something something else you eliminate. So it's your personality is always developing. The people you are with develops you mentally and physically also even. But phase I think 15-16 होता है normally, क्योंकि तब हमको थोड़ा थोड़ा इन्फ्लुएंस होने लगते हैं हम दूसरे लोगों से. उससे पहले तो कुछ नहीं होता, उसके बाद तो ऑलमोस्ट हो जाता है.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, there's a question in the chat box which says, have you ever faced racial discrimination in the international platform?
No. Because I think not just me, but बहुत सारे athletes, different, सब कुछ different personalities, different colors, different race, different caste, different everything. They are there. So और मैं काफी young थी, तो I think the coaches and everybody always used to protect me from the other, influential things. So I never really faced racial discrimination.
Ma'am, what is the toughest tournament that you have faced? Like उसमें आपको लगा कि अब तो इससे ज़्यादा कठिन कुछ है ही नहीं. Like something that sort of.
अच्छा, आप मुझे ये बताइए सबसे ज्यादा बड़ा कंपटीशन कौन सा माना जाता है?
Olympics.
See, Olympics.
जहाँ पे कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन.
But otherwise, World Cups or World Cup finals and World Championships all are equally very tough, of course. But Olympics का थोड़ा सा chaos और थोड़ा सा mental pressure ज़्यादा होता है as compared to other competitions.
मैम जस्ट वांटेड टू आस्क समथिंग. मैम जैसे आपने भी बताया कि एक्सटेंडेड प्रैक्टिस होती है, मतलब आपको मतलब टोका टाकी करते थे कि अब मैम जब आप मतलब इतने ऊपर स्टेज पे पहुंच चुके हैं तो अब उनके मतलब कैसे रिएक्शंस होते हैं?
The extended family people.
मैम रिलेटिव्स आपको पहले इस समय मना करते थे कि मत भेजो, राइट? अब उनका क्या रिएक्शन होता है?
It's really funny to have these sort of people around you. Initial stage पे they'll always be like, इसको इतनी liberty क्यों दे रहे हो, इसको allow क्यों कर रहे हो, ये ऐसे मतलब इसके पर निकल आए and all of these things. But when you achieve something, they're always like, we always knew that this kid was meant to do something great. So it's always like this. It always gets twisted, and it's always funny to see.
I also have one question. Like, how do you calm yourself in different types of situations, like especially before the competitions and all?
So there are a few techniques to it. You can play small games to engage your mind, ताकि आपकी mental energy conclusions में या फिर किसी और चीज में ना जाए. You can spell some words backwards. कोई spellings वगैरह को backwards you can spell. So उसमें काफी mental energy अगर आपकी already engage हो रखी होती है, so आपका mind और thoughts को eliminate कर देता है और block कर देता है बाकी सब thoughts को. So the biggest confusing thing that happens to every one of us is that हमारे दिमाग में बहुत सारी चीजें आती हैं और वो आती ही रहती हैं. And mind is such a thing कि आप उसको block नहीं कर सकते हो, कि ऐसे नहीं कर सकते हो कि मुझे कुछ नहीं सोचना है. तो this thing doesn't work like that. You have to engage your mind in order कि वो बाकी सब thoughts को, फालतू thoughts को block कर दे. So I do some of all of that, small छोटे games, खेलना, कुछ और चीज के बारे में सोचना, कुछ interesting चीज के बारे में सोचना या किसी चीज को observe करना. So I do all of that, and उसके अलावा I make sure that कि breathing मेरी बिल्कुल जैसे normal breathing होती है वैसे ही हो, क्योंकि if आपकी breathing में अगर difference आता है तो आपका heart rate depend करता है आपकी breathing पे. अगर आपकी breathing uneven है तो आपकी heart rate भी uneven हो जाती है. So that plays a important role also. So yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So my question is, how has your training or the life been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic?
Oh, I just tested positive like a couple of weeks back. I was quarantined for 11 days, and it wasn't really COVID. So I hate it. Definitely hate it. But at least the life is still going on, no? And I'm so grateful that I haven't really lost somebody important during this with due to COVID. And I'm so sorry for all the people that have lost somebody very important to them. So that's terrible also. Actually, pandemic के बारे में we cannot really do something. So we feel helpless and we still have to deal with it. We still have to survive through it. So I don't really feel something about it. क्योंकि ये किसी की साजिश नहीं है. तो but COVID time wasn't great.
There's a question in the chat box. Any sports person or anyone who you admire a lot?
I'm not really able to hear you. I'm sorry.
Ma'am, sorry. Ma'am, there's a question in the chat box. Ma'am, is there any sports person or a person who you really admire?
So I admire everyone, like every one of the elite athletes, but I don't really have a role model. I admire people. I look up to how they're performing, how they're working hard to achieve something, and their everyday training schedules and everything. I really admire all of that, but I don't really have a role model. But yeah, I think pretty much all of them, because everybody works really hard.
Good afternoon, ma'am. मैम आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन कि मैम जब आपका फर्स्ट फेलियर आया था तो आप उसके साथ डील कैसे कर रहे थे?
फर्स्ट फेलियर मेरा था ओपन टूर्नामेंट. उसके बाद मुझे बहुत ही बड़ी लंबी गिल्ट ट्रिप हुई थी कि आई इन्वेस्टेड माय एनर्जी. I put in lot of money. My parents put in so much money and effort, and I trained for longer hours. I skipped my classes and a lot of things, but मुझे बदले में क्या ही मिला? I didn't win. I couldn't win. So it was a guilt trip, but उसके बाद I decided कि मैं I'll give everything that I have. I'll train for I'll extend मेरे training hours. फिर I'll focus more on every basic thing. And अगर next say 3-4 महीने में भी एक भी medal नहीं आया तो I'll leave the sport. I'll change it. Maybe I'm not meant to do this. And I planned. And I think उसके बाद से say 2018 तक I won every single tournament, everything.
Ma'am, does sports helps you to add different perspective in your life, like how you see your life now and before?
I think sports में आपको बहुत ज़्यादा what do we say it? स्पोर्ट्स एक डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म होता है जिसपे आपको और भी ज़्यादा, जैसे स्टडीज़ में यू आर ओनली इंट्रोड्यूस टू योर से क्लासमेट्स और योर स्कूल मेट्स एट मोस्ट, बट स्पोर्ट्स में यू गेट टू ट्रैवल अ लॉट, जिससे आप बहुत सारे कल्चर्स देखते हो, बहुत सारी डाइवर्सिटी देखते हो, लोग कितने अलग अलग होते हैं, आप वो सब देखने को मिलता है, और आपको अपने खुद के डिसीजंस भी लेने को मिलते हैं. सो आपको बहुत ज़्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल भी बना देता है स्पोर्ट्स, as how I believe it. आपको बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है, बहुत सारे लोग, अलग अलग लोगों के साथ यू हैव टू एडजस्ट योर लिविंग एंड योर लाइफस्टाइल. यू लर्न टू लिव विद न्यू पीपल and see how they make decisions in their lives. So I think हाँ, काफ़ी different perspective मिलता है if you are a sports person. And क्योंकि आप ट्रैवल इतना ज़्यादा करते हो, आप अलग अलग जगह पे जाते हो, अलग अलग लोगों से मिलते हो, या सोशली काफ़ी इंटरेक्शन होता है.
So मतलब मैम हर स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन एक ट्रांजिशन या ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन से जाता है जो डेवलपमेंट में हेल्प करता है.
धीरे धीरे पर्सनालिटी डेवलप होती है, तो धीरे धीरे जो भी ट्रांजिशंस होते हैं, जो भी चीज़ें वो फेस करता है, उससे वो ट्रांसफॉर्म होता है. तो हाँ, डेफिनेटली एक बारी में किसी को डिसीजन लेना नहीं आएगा, बट वी मेक रॉन्ग चॉइसेस ऑल्सो इन लाइफ, बट इवेंचुअली वी लर्न व्हाट इज गुड फॉर अस एंड व्हाट इज नॉट गुड फॉर अस. So that makes us who we are today. तो आपने भी लाइफ में काफी गलत चॉइसेस लिए होंगे, कुछ सही डिसीजंस लिए होंगे. So yeah, pretty much that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I just wanted to ask you ki how you manage your time. I mean, how you focus on your studies as well as you focus on your daily practice.
It's quite tough क्योंकि I don't really get to follow up with my classes. मैं almost हर 4 दिन में पूछती हूँ अपने classmates से. एक तो friends ही इतनी मुश्किल से बनते हैं because we don't go to the college, we don't know people, we don't talk to anybody, we don't know कौन कैसा है. तो दोस्त बहुत मुश्किल से बनते हैं and उनसे भी बार-बार if you ask कि अभी कहाँ पहुँचे हैं, अभी कौन सा chapter है and everything, so that's pretty much tough. But I have a private tutor, so that makes it pretty much easier also. But college के साथ अगर tutor नहीं होता तो I don't think I could have been survived and get इतना आगे.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I had a question. Was there any moment in your life when you thought that you were going to lose and eventually you won the game?
Yes. The Mexico World Cup, when it was the last shot, I thought I think difference was 2.4 points, 2.4 points. So it was quite a lot of difference. And I was like, ये तो goal तो नहीं आएगा, तो चलो छोड़ो, chill करके चलाओ. I'll just relax and do my thing and let's see, that's fine. So I got done with my shot and then she shot a 8. So then I won. But otherwise बहुत ऐसे नहीं होता है कि मैच से पहले लगा कि मैं हार जाऊंगी बट मैं जीत गई, इतना नहीं होता है. बट ड्यूरिंग द मैच अगर अच्छा नहीं चल रहा होता है तो आई ऑल्सो समटाइम्स थिंक कि हो सकता है कि आज ना हो पाए, बट हो जाता है. बहुत बार होता है एक्चुअली. वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल्स ऑल्सो I barely made it to literally point something say I made it to the finals and then I won with a world record. So that was epic.
Ma'am, how does coaches and mentors have an impact on your life?
I think if you require a coach and you have a good coach, so उससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. If you don't know certain things और आपके कोच को भी आपको लगता है कि you cannot approach him क्योंकि वो बहुत गुस्से टाइप्स में है, तो वो आपको हेल्प नहीं कर पाते हैं. If you think कि आपके कोच आपके ट्रेनिंग सेशंस में नहीं होते हैं बट नॉर्मली वैसे होते हैं, मैचेस में होते हैं, तो आपका ट्रेनिंग ही वो नहीं करवा पा रहे हैं, तो हाउ वुड ही अंडरस्टैंड यू. कोचेस काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं इसलिए भी क्योंकि वो आपकी मेंटल एनर्जी डिसाइड करते हैं. अगर वो आपको मोटिवेट नहीं करे, मतलब एक तो होता है कि कोच आपको बहुत पॉजिटिव चीज़ें बोल रहा है, आपको मोटिवेट कर रहा है कि आप ये कर सकते हो, यू कैन डू दिस, इज नथिंग, यू कैन डू दिस, आई नो योर कैलिबर, यू हैव दिस इनसाइड यू एंड यू कैन डू इट. सो उससे थोड़ा मोटिवेशन मिलता है. और एक होता है कोई बात नहीं होगा तो कोई बात नहीं, आज शायद दिन अच्छा नहीं होगा या फिर आज नहीं हो पाएगा तुमसे, तुमको यहाँ चोट लगी है या फिर ये है वो है. सो थोड़ा सा मेंटल इम्पैक्ट काफ़ी पड़ता है कोचेस और मेंटर्स से. अगर नहीं है और यू आर पॉजिटिव अबाउट दैट थिंग तो वो भी ठीक है. बट इफ यू हैव अ कोच and you don't feel positive about the coach, so then that's not good for you.
मैम, एक्सक्यूज मी मैम, हम अपने अंदर के फियर को खत्म कैसे करें मैम? जैसे आप कोई पर्टिकुलर चीज कर रहे हैं, आप उसके बारे में पूरे कॉन्फिडेंट है कि हाँ मैं ये काम कर लूंगी या कर लूंगा, बट कहीं ना कहीं अंदर पे एक फियर रहता है कि इफ अगर ये काम नहीं हुआ, हमारे पेरेंट्स इसके लिए इतना इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं लेकिन हमने कुछ आउटपुट नहीं दिया इसके रिलेटेड, ये फियर मतलब कहीं ना कहीं हर एक के अंदर रहता है. तो इसी फियर को हम खत्म कैसे करें?
fear खत्म उसी के अंदर होता है, या तो जो डेड होता है या फिर जिसका दिल नहीं होता है। जिसमें भी दिल है और दिमाग है उसको हमेशा डर रहेगा, बिकॉज़ हम लोग समझते हैं कि क्या चीज़ हमारे लिए कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट है। हमको मतलब क्या चीज़ हमारे लिए कितनी मैटर करती है, हमारे लव्ड वन्स के लिए कितनी मैटर करती है। तो हमें हमेशा वो प्रेशर फ़ील होता रहेगा, हमें डर लगता रहेगा कि अगर हमने खराब कर दिया तो पता नहीं क्या होगा, या फिर हम उनका ट्रस्ट तोड़ देंगे, हमारे लव्ड वन्स का ट्रस्ट तोड़ देंगे वगैरह टाइप्स। तो फ़ियर आप कभी भी ख़त्म नहीं कर सकते हो। बस आप उसको थोड़ा-सा एक्सपीरियंस के साथ कम कर सकते हो कि धीरे-धीरे आपको अगर अलग-अलग चीज़ों का एक्सपीरियंस होगा तो यू विल बी मोर कॉन्फिडेंट, पहले से मोर कॉन्फिडेंट कि हाँ, मैंने पास्ट में भी किया है तो आई विल डू इट अगेन। अगर आप स्पोर्ट्स की बात कर रहे हो, अगर आप करियर परस्यू करने की बात कर रहे हो तो कितने सारे लोग होते हैं जो हमेशा जो ट्राई कर रहे होते हैं, बट यू हैव टू आस्क योरसेल्फ कि व्हाट मेक्स यू स्पेशल। आपको क्यों जीतना चाहिए? आपने क्या एक्स्ट्रा मेहनत की है? आप क्या उनसे ज़्यादा इंटेलिजेंट हैं? या फिर अम, आपके क्या पैरामीटर्स हैं उनसे डिफरेंट जो आपको जीतना चाहिए? फ़ियर हमेशा ही रहेगा, लाइफ लॉन्ग रहेगा। हर एक मेजर डिसीज़न आप जितने भी लोगे ज़िंदगी में, हर एक में आपको डर लगेगा कि अगर मेरा डिसीज़न गलत हुआ, तो हो सकता है कोई बहुत बड़ी गलती हो जाए या फिर आई डोंट नो क्या हो जाए। तो फ़ियर यू कैन नॉट एस्केप फ़ियर। नोबडी कैन एस्केप फ़ियर।
Thank you.
How does your life changes like before COVID and now in the COVID times? What was the difference?
So before we were allowed to go outside the hostel, but now we are not. But in general, it's more कि हम बहुत ज़्यादा sanitation पे ध्यान देने लग गए हैं, which is good, definitely. But the bad thing is कि we don't really get to travel so much. We don't really get to, once we are inside any fraternity, I think हमको ज़्यादा liberty नहीं होती है कि बाहर जाओ या फिर वापस अंदर आओ। एंड राइट नाउ आई एम इन द हॉस्टल एंड अभी मुझे 2 महीने से घर जाने को नहीं मिला है, एंड इफ आई गो बैक होम एंड इफ आई कम बैक आई विल हैव टू क्वारंटाइन फॉर 5-6 डेज, सो व्हिच इज द वर्स्ट। एंड आई थिंक पहले काफ़ी ईज़ था हर एक चीज़ में कि हम जा सकते हैं, आ सकते हैं, घर से ट्रैवल कर सकते हैं, बॉर्डर्स बंद नहीं होते हैं, कोई कर्फ्यू नहीं होता है, हम पब्लिक प्लेसेस पे घूम सकते हैं, पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट्स यूज़ कर सकते हैं। बट नाउ इट्स पॉइंट ऑफ अ थॉट कि हम पता नहीं, एक क्वेश्चन मार्क आ जाता है हर चीज़ के पीछे कि कैन वी डू इट और कैन वी नॉट, लाइक हमको कहीं इन्फेक्शन तो नहीं हो जाएगा एंड ऑल टाइप।
So now I think the questions are pretty much done. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing a stirring learning experience. It was a great pleasure to listen to your talk, highly inspirational and perfectly pitched to the audience. With this, now I would like to invite Ms. Deepika ma'am for giving word of thanks.
Thank you, Radhika, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to thank Ms. Manu Bhaker ma'am on behalf of Commerce Department, Motilal Nehru College for such an inspirational, engaging and enlightening session. Ma'am, we all owe a special vote of thank to you for taking time out for this event from your busy schedule. Such an inspirational and motivational session for all of us. You won so many medals for us and made us proud. Moreover, I would also like to thank Team Ambrosia for organizing all these events successfully, and all my dear students who have attended this session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being such a lovely audience.
Sameer, Manya.